Hey, welcome to day 102 of New Zealand's Biggest Gap Year. It's an epic challenge that my partner Laura and I decided to tackle a couple of years ago. What do we have to do for this challenge, you ask? We need to do 365 activities all around New Zealand in only 365 days. Go, 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 go! Today is day 102. We are checking out Cape Foulwind, where you will be able to find some of the laziest seals in the entire country. And then join me at the end of the video when we're going to go over some of the comments you had the first time we published it. See you then!
This morning our day begins at the awesome Basil's Hostel, which is a cool and colourful hostel full of different murals on the walls, as well as different places to relax and kick back, watch some rugby on the nearby rugby field, classic Kiwi sight. But these 365 days of 365 activities are not going to do themselves.
That's right, so we are heading today to Cape Foulwind, which is the place where there is one of the best and biggest seal colony in New Zealand. There is also some awesome rocky cliffs and some stunning beaches, so there is a lot to unpack today, so off we go. Cape Foulwind is located only about 10 kilometers out of Westport, and it's definitely a must-see. The hike is really easy, it's a well-marked and really easy kind of concrete path, and it's only about an hour walk if you take it really slowly. Although it's a one-way track, there's a lot to see along the way, so in our books, it's definitely a must-do.
The first stop on the Cape Foulwind Walkway is the Cape Foulwind Lighthouse. There are heaps of different lighthouses in New Zealand, and this one has to be one of my favourites. The awesome thing about this lighthouse is that it is surrounded by this native bush called flax, which the Maori actually used to use to make clothing and baskets, for example, and this makes a complete contrast to the white lighthouse itself.
A couple of locals tells us that the place is called Cape Foulwind because it receives the wind from Australia, so foul wind. I don't really know how true that is, but it makes them laugh. But we are already off to the next spot that we want to check out during this walk, which is the seal colony. Laura and I are really keen on checking out this seal colony, so we are kind of power walking our way through the coastal line.
Because the native bush around us is quite low, we actually get some really awesome views of the coastal headlands all the way along the walkway. Although we don't quite see all the way to Australia, we do see why this place is called the Wild West Coast. The rocks on the cliffs below are getting absolutely smashed by the waves, and the wind up here is pretty strong as well.
As we're getting closer and closer and closer to the coastline, we are hearing the waves crashing on rocks. It kind of feels like a build-up from an American movie right here. It's going stronger and harder and louder, and soon enough we finally arrive at the seal colony. It is a rugged coastline bashed by the waves, and it takes us a few minutes to spot our first seal.
The viewing area here is absolutely huge, and it keeps us a good distance away from the seals so we can watch them doing their natural thing. The seals are exactly the same colour as the rocks, and the fact that most of them are just sleeping and chilling out, it just makes it a little hard to spot them at first. But a few of the smaller ones, the younger ones, are a little bit cheeky, a little bit more movement, and it's really surprising how well these seals can sleep when the waves are absolutely crashing around them.
In New Zealand, the law requires us to stay at least 20 meters away from seals. They are marine mammals that were harassed by humans in the past decades, and the New Zealand Department of Conservation is trying to repopulate the local seal colonies, and we can see that the program has great success with so many seal pups around. Laura and I are falling in love with those seals. There is like the tiny one which are really hilarious and the big one which are super grumpy and super hairy. We're having a lot of fun watching them, and we spend here a lot of time. Actually, we spent here over 2 hours. That's crazy, the amount of time that those seals entertained us. Foulwind track is a one-way track. We are making our way back the same way that we came in, which gives us an opportunity to check out those views from a different angle. I really do like that. And we get back to the Basil's backpacker for another night, and hopefully tomorrow we're gonna be surfing. They are flapping their flippers, you know, kind of like, oh, something, oh, he's gonna catch me, that was a hard one. Oh, I'm gonna go eat another fish. And then you get some which are like really happy, they go with their feet and like, so you know they're dreaming about like, oh my god, so many fishes, I'm eating so much fish. Oh. So you can see literally what they're dreaming about, which is pretty epic. Alright guys, so as you can see, those seals were really not moving much, but the sceneries was fantastic. I mean, the coastline of the west coast of New Zealand is just an amazing treat. I just can't get enough of driving along the coastline and checking it out. There's so many little walks around, and that's one of the things that I love about New Zealand. There's so many small walks everywhere, so you can always kind of stretch your legs for 15-30 minutes and check out some amazing locations, or some like really thick rainforest, or some beautiful mountain landscape, or riverside, or just the coastline. There's just so much to do here. And this is why we started creating NZPocketGuide.com. It's actually the largest travel guide to New Zealand, and it's been created by Laura and I. And in it, we have so many activities recommendations for you, and even just so many pit stop and short walks in order for you to make the most out of your trip in New Zealand. Because it's not just going from one place to another and just do some big attractions there. Definitely the journey is one of the things that is the most enjoyable when traveling in New Zealand. And we want to make sure that you can actually enjoy the journey as much as possible, and that's why we have the website free for all to use. So it's nzpocketguide.com, and there is a link in the description below. Now I was about to comment to check out all the comments that you guys had for this video the first time we published it, but guess what? Cape Foulwind is really not a popular place, and not that many people know about it, so very little amount of people watched the video the first time, and therefore there is no comment. So instead I'm going to tell you about our live sessions. So on Sunday at 8 AM New Zealand time, every single Sunday we do a live session in which Laura and I sit on the couch over there behind me, and we answer all your questions for 1 hour to help you plan your trip to New Zealand. It's definitely a fun, interactive way to kind of plan your trip to New Zealand and discuss with us on what's the best way to spend your 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, 3 months in New Zealand and make the most of it. So definitely join us for one of those live sessions. And if you do have some comments, you can put them in the comment or section of this video. I check them out regularly, and maybe next time I do one of those videos, there's going to be some comments to talk about. And as well as you're going to get some answers to your questions. So here you go. If you want to reward all our hard work, you can click the like button. It's a great free way to say thank you to us, or you can even subscribe if you want to be notified next time there is a crazy adventure that's happening to us. Day 103 is just around the corner. Alright guys, see you then, bye bye!